Hi, Warriors. A big shift in the euro pound today. That's a pretty impulsive move. So I'm going to get to both euro, which really lit up today, up over 100 pips at one point today. Pound is only down, well, it's up 9. But let's get to what I talked about on Monday because it was a very good forecast and very accurate. I said on Monday that if we get a rally, we were in this little congestion zone. I said between 136.80 and 137, I'd be a seller. The high was 136. What was this high? 91. So right there in the zone. So even now, you still have 100 pips on the yen. I posted it also in our main room on TradeGATEHub. But we're holding this 50-day on the 4-hour. And to me, it looks like there's still potential for another high in the end. So I've gone to the door. I'll recommit on closes back under 135. Okay, that means there's more left. But so far, it looks like it held. The dollar took out an important level, that 104 level. But if we could get back above 104, I think that we could have another push up in the dollar. I'm not ready to capitulate and say that this dollar rally that started at par 50 is over. I think we're just correcting for one more push up, maybe towards, I've been talking about 106. I don't think that we should take out 103. Under 103, what I just said now is negated. And that's an important point because, you know, you always have to keep in mind, okay, this is the narrative and the technicals are telling me this. Where would that be negated? And that's your risk on the trade. And it's the only thing you could control. So the closer you position yourself to an inflection point of where a market is going to break down or break out, the lower the stop loss risk is on the trade. So, it's very possible that, if the dollar takes out 103, then I would say, yeah, there's some problems here. Maybe we're going to try 101, maybe new lows. But for now, I'm going to give the dollar the benefit of the doubt. And what do I want to short now? So most people have been piling into cable. All right. They've been piling into cable. And, we haven't been able to make new lows. We didn't in euro either. We certainly did. And now that 67 number in the Aussie even looks better now, even though I think that Aussie could break again. It was a real good level. Okay, look at how we held this market. This was my target. And here's a shaded area when I was putting out sells in the room and here on YouTube. So pretty successful trade if you had the patience to ride at least a portion of the position all the way down to 67, over 300 pips on this recent move. And it was the weakest currency because it's the only one that made lows like this. Euro did not take out its recent low. In fact, it put in a higher low, but this could still be an ABC. But since euro pound has shifted, I'm going to be looking for spots to sell cable between here and 2170. Cable would be the preferred short. And still think that there's a chance that the US dollar yen heads up one more time. And that brings me to the metals, which is something else I talked about on Monday. Today's Wednesday. And I said I'd be a buyer, check it out. Go to prior YouTube at 1803 in gold. Low is 1804.50. We've had a nice $34 rally here. The RSI structure is much stronger in the gold than the silver. The silver diverged, but under 30. Look at the difference in the RSI structure. Much stronger in gold than silver. So I think there's a possibility, if you bought it at 2040, I was talking that maybe we could see 2020, which is a fib down here, 2020, 61.8 of the whole rally that we had. And what I'm thinking now is there's a possibility that silver makes a new low here at 2022 and gold puts in a higher low. Maybe it holds, 1820, 1815. So I'd be looking to buy the silver at new lows because then I think we'll be getting close to the end of this rally in the gold-silver ratio. And as you could tell, I think there is another new high in the gold-silver ratio, because look at how powerful it's been on this run, where you're getting RSI readings at 80, just a shade under 80 at the recent high. So both momentum and price are confirming, which to me says the probabilities of another high in the gold-silver ratio, maybe up towards 90, is viable. So keep an eye on the gold-silver ratio up around that level and see where silver is at. I suspect that it's probably going to be trading around that 2020 level if that happens. Miners got a bit of a lift, but before I get to miners, just the 10-year yield. I think we have ISM here. And, there's a lot of compression being built up here. And it is, after an extended move, but we could still have one more spike up and panic the markets up around 4%. That's what I talked about Monday. We did make a new high, 398, but new highs, even 410, is not going to confirm on the 4-hour time frame. So I think that we're nearing or getting close to the last thrust up in yields for a while, which will mean the last thrust up in the dollar for a while, which will mean the last thrust up in the yen for a while. And maybe the yen, if you just do it arithmetically, let's call the high 37 and the low today 5.25. So you had max 160 pips from the recommendation of the price up here to short it from Monday. So if we travel 160 pips above this high, it's going to give us like 138.60. So I'm going to be looking for one more high in this as well. One more high in the dollar. Under 103, I throw in the towel for that scenario. Potential of a nice pullback in silver. Even the 4-hour, just the chart looks much better, doesn't it? Look at blue candles in gold, red candles in silver. So let's see if we get that washout with yields popping one more time, dollar popping one more time. I also want to point out that with a weak dollar, you think risk on would be doing better. It's not. And it's still my contention that we're not through to the downside. Like, of course, I've been talking about the battleground being this 39.20 level. You could see it better on the daily, because that would be the breakout from last January's high, this trend line coming in here now around 3,900. That's going to be a pretty negative signal. So I've been updating you every week since the high on the 2-week reversal signal in the S&Ps and what it would need to turn up this week, which doesn't look like it's happening. Happy March. I think we have to take out the Feb low before we turn. And as long as we're back under 40.77, which is, we're under 13 handles from there, the 2-week reversal that we had this week, this was the week we had it, it was a good signal. I mean, you probably felt late because you didn't sell it at 41.80 and it closed at 40.77. But, you're up 120 handles on that call. If I'm right about that, I think the VIX is going to come out of here. And I'm watching this as kind of a bull flag here after the straight line move. And I think we're going to visit the upper 20s, maybe 30 on this last spike in yields, spike in push up in the dollar and push up in the yen. So those are my calls. Invite you to join us here in the main room on TradeGATEHub.com. And if you're looking for a good Forex broker, consider TradeView Markets. Check them out. You could open a demo. You could trade all different instruments, CFDs, for people outside the US. And that'll be a wrap. I'll be here with Josh Shapiro tomorrow. Check him out. Look him up on Google him. He was in Jack Schwager's last book, the unknown wizards. So we're going to have a wizard with us tomorrow. So I'll have my tinfoil hat and interview him inside of my pyramid. So look forward to you joining us for that tomorrow. Good hunting.